This is exactly what the fans want, and they're getting it. Tuesday the 26th, an undisputed title fight. Both men unified champions, Naoya Inoue and Marlon Tapares, meeting up to decide who's going to get all 4 belts at 122 pounds.
Moving up 2 weight divisions, becoming undisputed in 2 weight classes in a year time, that's unheard of.
If you told me that there was a casual fan that wanted to understand what current world championship boxing looks like, feels like, is, I would say he's the one fighter you must watch.
When everybody else is finding reasons not to fight and not to make the big fights, Naoya Inoue is running towards those fights, and he's pressuring to make those fights happen. Other fighters need to follow in his footsteps.
まあそんなにこだわりはないんですけどね。次が2階級で4団体かかった試合だから、まあ気持ち的にはいつもと変わらず自分の最高のパフォーマンスができる試合をしたい。偉業をこの2階級で4団体統一の偉業を成し遂げたいとか、ベルトを4つ取りたいとか、そこじゃないんですよね。だから自分がどれだけ強い姿を見せれるか、どれだけのパフォーマンスを見せれるか、戦いたいってところなんですよ。
My thoughts on the Inoue versus Fulton fight, I was surprised of how easy Inoue made that fight look. You know, you hear all the time, the great ones make it look easy.
Trying to claim 2 more belts as Fulton trying to grab the ropes, backed up into the corner.
He made it look easy, dominating a 2-time world champion, who I thought in Fulton had the toughness, the skill set to be able to compete and combat against Inoue and his skills. And Inoue showed that he was levels above Fulton.
Naoya Inoue is doing things and doing them to great fighters.
Said a lot of times he's boxing's perfect predator, but he's also the most efficient.
This is what he delivers time and again.
I don't recall many guys, knockout artists of his caliber, moving with that economy. What he does with very little movement is extraordinary.
7. Oh, a big right hand from Naoya Inoue, and Maloney is down and hurt.
What does this quest say about him? It says that he's a fighter that all fighters should aspire to be. Don't talk about fighting the best, fight them. Don't talk about unifying, unify. I think that the onus is on the fighters, and they should take note of Inoue.
調整試合を挟む精神力がないです。逆を言えばこけるんだったらそっちでこけるかもしれないです。やっぱりモチベーションだったりこう全てがマックスの数値に値しないで試合に挑むことになる可能性が高い。そっちの方が怖いなっていうのは自分の中で思うんですよね。だったらまあ一つ階級を上げたとしてもその階級でやっぱり強いと言われるチャンピオンに向かっていく自分のモチベーションだったりこう仕上げる能力っていうのは自分は高いと思うんで、まあ、そこに期待して試合に挑んでった方がやっぱりいい結果は出るのかなと思ったし。
Naoya Inoue is very tough to describe because he's unlike almost any fighter we've ever seen before. He has this unique combination of extraordinary God-gifted power, skill, speed, athleticism, toughness, grit, the ability to be resilient, but it's packaged in a small body. And it almost seemingly has no boundary as to where he can go with it. It does not matter as he goes up in weight. That power not only carries, but the dynamic, explosive quality of being the biggest bully and the viper. He's the apex predator. That's what he is. And he's showing it time and time again.
As a fan, what more could you ask for? He's fun to watch, he takes risks, he knows how to finish a fight, he's technically skilled, so he's a complete fighter, he's a complete package, and I think that's what makes him different. He's what boxing needs. He is the man who's gonna give you a little bit of everything in a fight, and at the end, you're gonna leave satisfied knowing you saw an Inoue monster performance.
The monster! A 4-division world champion!
I believe he's the most dynamic fighter on earth today. You can make an argument as to who's number one pound for pound, but in terms of being purely dynamic, Inoue's the guy.
Marlon Tapares is playing with house money. And not to say he's satisfied, but he's going up against the monster in Japan to become an undisputed champion.
Man, I'm on fire. I light the whole city up. Pull up in the Billy truck, looking like that's really us. Riding like the president. We just came to represent. Reposado sipping when I'm dipping through the trenches. Yeah, all my dogs are treacherous. Please stand next to us. Elevate your mindset. Now we on the fly just hustle till you come up. Yeah, homie, that's the process. Pull up with a fly chick and we ain't with the nonsense.
I would describe Marlon Tapares as gritty, a bit savvy inside the ring, toughness coming from the Philippines, workmanlike inside the ring, but also has some finesse to go along with him. He's a southpaw, decent punching power, nothing crazy at all, but he needs to be respected.
The camp going is I feel good and comfortable because we're here in Philippines, and the same time the Japan time and the Philippine time is almost the same.
Tapares is tough. Tapares is a veteran. Tapares is proven. Tapares is fearless. Tapares is a guy who has proven that he can pull the upset.
And the new WBA and IBF Bantamweight champion of the world!
He has proven that he will take on any challenge, and I think that fearlessness will serve him as best as can be.
I know how to control that fear, but the thing is I know myself that I have a good training camp, so why should I fear? I feel nothing right now because I have big confidence for myself that I can do it.
He lost his first world title opportunity against Iwasa, another Japanese fighter, and now he has an opportunity to get a glorious win for himself, for his career, and a life-changing opportunity for himself and for his family, because a victory over Naoya Inoue changes generations of Tapares' lives.
Marlon Tapares, southpaw, a lot of experience at the highest levels of the division, but most important, he's got 2 belts.
The Philippines have a new unified champion.
I know myself and I know what I bring in Japan. I know my training, I know my confidence, and I know what's in my mind. I want to go down the first undisputed Filipino world champion. I want to fight Naoya Inoue because I want to prove myself that I'm a champion.
今年中にこの2つのベルトをかけて戦いましょう。
Tapares has to go for broke. I really believe that. I don't think that you can sit back as a significant underdog. And listen, we're talking about a unified champion being an underdog, which is remarkable to even think of that. But I think he's got to go for broke. Inoue's been hit before. Inoue's been in trouble before. Now, he's not only survived it, but he's been dynamic in coming up with wins when it's happened. The broken orbital bone against Nonito Donaire. But I think he's got to go for it. And if you're Inoue, I think you just have to live to your expectation and to your standard. He's the best fighter in the world. He has more weaponry than anybody else does. So simply be yourself.
Goes back to it again. Oh! Big time shot to the body by Inoue. And a big right hand that comes in. Great work from Inoue. Inoue, who vacated his 4 belts, his undisputed status at bantamweight, to come up to 122 pounds and say, I want the best guy in the division right away.
This is the baddest man at 122 pounds. And Inoue is making this look easy.
Fulton hurt badly. The monster on the attack. Trying to claim 2 more belts as Fulton tried to grab the ropes. Backed up into the corner. Here comes Inoue. That destructive, decisive power does it again.
As far as for Inoue, just be you.
We sometimes overuse the word greatness in boxing. Not here, not now. That is greatness.
Greatness.
ただ、技術もあるし、この瞬発的な爆発力もあるし、パンチも硬いんだろうなと思うし、割とこうフルトン戦は1ラウンド目ゆったり入ったんですけど、多分入り方も全然違うと思うし、フルトン戦よりもっとピリつくんじゃないかなっていう、会場もすごい緊張感に包まれるんじゃないかなっていうのは。
For me, as a boxer, I like the style of Inoue because he punches all the way the opponent. Then he wants to throw punch a lot of punches. Then I can counter him. That's why I know the key how to win.
The key for Naoya Inoue in this fight is going to be to stay defensively responsible, because you can't allow a fighter as physically strong as Marlon Tapales is to land those shots that other fighters landed at 118 pounds.
Left hand there, a good one from Tapales. The sensational, undefeated, 3-division champion of the world, Naoya, the Monster Inoue.
スーパーバンタムに上げてフルトンとタパレスとって、何が一番違うかというとそこなんですよね。フルトンも勝ちに日本には来てましたけど、多分その根の部分って違うんですよ。もうそれは確実に違うんですよ。だからこそそこが一番自分の中で警戒しなきゃいけない部分。だから多分自分もこうハングリーにトレーニング。
Tapales' defense is usually just using the high guard. Inoue has shown throughout his career that anyone that stands in front of him and becomes an instant punching bag and they use the high guard, he destroys it.
I want to beat Naoya Inoue in 12 rounds because I want to enjoy and I want to feel the punch that, they say that the monster is very strong. That I want to feel it, like I want to enjoy. If I have a chance to knock him out, of course I will knock him out.
I'm excited about this fight. Anytime you get to see a real unification, it's great. But when you get to see a guy who's arguably the best fighter in the world, that's even better.
You are watching greatness in his absolute prime.
Even Stephen Fulton didn't have the one-punch power that Tapales had, so Inoue's gonna have to be careful. Those lead uppercuts that Tapales throws, those awkward angles that he uses, that southpaw stance, all that's gonna be challenging early on for Naoya Inoue, but at the end of the day, we all tune in to watch Naoya Inoue to be that offensive machine.
The fact that the opponent's a unified champion, this is special for the fans. The fact that it's happening right away after what he was able to accomplish moving up to 122 pounds this past July, you gotta love this guy. He over-delivers time and again, and here he is going for another undisputed crown, this time at 122 pounds. I give credit to Tapales. He's not afraid of this matchup. He's a guy who has pulled off the upset before. That's why he's got 2 belts. He's a guy who stylistically is going to come forward, going to make a fight. And because of that, you have to expect fireworks. He's in against arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, a guy who is wildly athletic, powerful, skilled, and dynamic.
So I think for both guys, it really is a great opportunity to close out 2023.
Our expectations are one thing, and that's to win and be the first unified champion.
This is a big task. Everyone's afraid of Inoue. You say or not? How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel excited for 26.
So today is Marlon Tapales' workout day here at Ohashu Gym in Yokohama. He's going to show some of the footworks and answer questions for media.
Magpapakita kami ng magandang laban at saka talagang gagawin namin na manalo kami sa laban. Of course, yung condition ko sa pamilya ko, sa karir ko, of course sa team namin.
Our expectations is just like Marlon's done before. He's here to win. He's here to be the first unified champion ever. in the history of the Philippines, something even Manny Pacquiao didn't accomplish. So he's not here like Stephen Fulton. Stephen Fulton was here. I don't think he wanted to fight. He was, a little scared of the situation. My man's been in Japan. He's 4-0. Our expectations are one thing, and that's to win and be the first unified champion.
Talagang malaki yung person.
How many percent confident are you?
200. 200. 200.
No.
The Filipino.
Tapares.
Me 200.
How important is the psychological aspect in this fight? Many fighters facing Inoue, it seems like they lose before they even enter the ring.
That has absolutely been the case for so many fighters recently that Inoue fought. You got a guy here that just beat a gold medalist, beat an undefeated WBA world champion. And what I see in Marlon, skill level, he's always had that. But mental game is 110%. That's where it's really at. Mentally, when he came here to see Inoue fight, he got to see it up close and personal. So he knows what Inoue brings, and he knows what he brings. So mentally, he's actually better mentally prepared probably than physically. And that's the key in this fight. If you're not mentally prepared to fight a guy like Inoue, you're in big trouble.
As the two men with two belts at 122 pounds meet in the ring in Tokyo, Japan for the first of what will likely be many face-offs.
Pinag-aralan mo ng gusto si Inoue, no? So, ano naman ang pinakamalaking pinag-aralan? Kung pwede lang sagot.
Nakikita lang yan sa paparating na lang.
Your whole team seems very confident and loose. Sean seems very loose. He says, unlike these other guys, you have no fear. Why? Are you crazy or are you just that good?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Crazy is dangerous. But feeling good and comfortable?
Yeah.